just black and white.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Neon Comics and we're gonna do another video. So today I wanted to do something that I personally enjoy doing. I like speculating on things and just, kind of checking markets and stuff. I'm just weird. But anyways, guys, so what I've been looking at is I've been following trends. I've been following trends on cards, and I've been looking at things that I think make sense and don't make sense. So what I've learned, been collecting for a while, is sometimes people jump into this and they start following the trends or following what's what everyone is collecting right now. So I think that if everyone else is collecting it, guys, if everyone else is hoarding it, then who else are you going to sell to? Like if everyone has 50 boxes of Champions Path, but everyone only has 2 or 3 boxes of Hidden Fates, for example, which is just an example. Obviously, Hidden Fates is going to have more value. It's supply and demand. So right now, I don't know if anyone deals with PSA, but I personally submit to PSA a lot, and I can tell you PSA is backed up. I honestly think that PSA is about to get other returns in the next few months, and we're going to have a huge market overflow of everyone's cards coming back. With that being said, I think that people are jumping too much into the hype of, hey, it's old, so it must be worth something. Well, yeah, a lot of the older stuff, the WotC stuff, the first set stuff is worth money, but not all of it is. And also other, someone says, I've heard it a million times, it's Charizard, just collect Charizard. Well, not all Charizards have value. Some of them have more value than others. Same thing with, well, let's just jump into it. So, okay, guys, so I'm going to talk about the first thing. I'm going to talk about 3 things that are undervalued, and then I'm going to talk about 4 things that I think are overvalued. So the undervalued stuff is the fun stuff. That's the stuff that you can buy right now, and then you can hopefully hold and make a profit down the future, or you can at least buy it before it blows up. So here's going to be my first choice for undervalued. This is a 2020 Charizard. This is a Japanese promo. This is an Illustrator promo. So this came out, guys, in Japan recently. It was kind of like Red Pikachu from a few years ago, where you can only buy it by buying a certain amount of product at the Pokemon Center or Pokemon stores in Japan. And I mean, this is a freaking awesome card. Like the art, yeah, it is a Charizard, but I mean, look at that. This was someone that did fan art, and they won, and it was selected. And I mean, you don't see these in the States. It didn't come out here. It was an American release, and it's undervalued. When this first dropped, I think the pre-order was $40 to $50. Right now, you can get these on eBay anywhere from $15 to $20. If you buy lots, you can buy lots like 10 for $140, $150. So I mean, that's not bad. This is something that I think is going to go up in the next few months once people catch on. So we're going to go, with that being said, here's the next one. So Shining Celebi. I think this card is undervalued. This came in a promo. No, this is a promo. This came in, I want to say it was Hidden Legends. There was a big pack. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but inside of that was Shining Lugia. Lugia is, I mean, $100 raw, $600, $800 in a PSA 10 because of how difficult it is to keep this thing pristine because you're pulling out of that plastic. I mean, this is probably a 9. Maybe I might get lucky and they might miss something. They might be a 10. But these cards, you can buy them. Buy it now for $20, $25. That's a steal. I mean, the Shining Gyarados, Shining Ho-Ho, all those old Shining from the Shining series from back in the day, they're worth a lot of money. Shining Celebi, Genesect, and Lugia from the newer series, and Arceus, I want to say Mew. There's a couple of new ones that came out back in 2017. Yeah, 2017. So back in 2017, when Hidden Legends came out, that was like, these were the ones to pick up. This was a promo, but I mean, this is a really cool promo, and I think that this card is super undervalued. For $20, $25, this should be worth a lot more. If Lugia is going for $100 raw, I don't see why Celebi shouldn't be at least $75, $80. So again, if you guys can pick this up, pick it up. And one's a promo and one's not, but hyper rares. So hyper rainbow rares, the pull ratio on these are pretty high. This is a promo, like I said. This came in a promo pack, but this one right here, I pulled this one. So that right there, especially hyper rares when they're Pokemon that people actually collect. So like Glaceon is an EV evolution. Obviously, people are gonna want that. If you found Espeon, if you found any of the other ones, people would want it. If you get like a no-name Pokemon that nobody really cares about, then I wouldn't be, too happy about keeping them. But something like this and something like this, these are still undervalued. I want to say this one shot up maybe to 40 or 50, but when I got this for like 20, 25, and then I pulled one and I bought one. So I forget if this is the one that I pulled, but nonetheless, I mean, you can get these for 40, 50 bucks. That's still not bad for what it is, because the pull ratios on these are pretty hard. They're pretty hard to pull. And then this is just a promo, but I mean, it's Ho-Oh. I mean, everybody knows Ho-Oh. This is a fan favorite, one of the older ones. So I mean, it's pretty cool. If you can still get this for under 15, I would pick it up. I'd pick it up all day. Graded examples, PSA 10s is where it's at. PSA 9s still have some value. I think PSA 9s are really undervalued, but these are still pretty cool to get. You can still get them relatively cheap right now, so I would pick them up. And just one extra thing, it is a Pokemon card, but it's not a basic, it's not the type of Pokemon cards that you pull. So back in the day, Topps also had the right to make these, or they printed them at one point. So these Topps Chrome cards, guys, people don't look at these. These are, I mean, nobody ever really picks these up anymore. I know a lot of us had these when we were kids, but people forgot about these. And if you look at eBay sold listings, they're slowly starting to pick up. People are starting to list them, especially when you want to get a Haunter from base set or from the first ed, and they're overpriced. Well, then people start looking to alternatives, and I think that these cards are still really cheap for what they are. They're still pretty cool looking. I mean, in the back, I know some of these are called animation cards, because it's like so TV animation edition. There you go. So these are a little bit different from playing cards, but they're still, I mean, they're still old, and they're still real nostalgic, and people want these. If you guys see these, there's some that they'll have like a different sheen to them, and they'll say Spectra in the back. If you see a Spectra card, it'll say right here, it'll be stamped on there, kind of like if you collect sports, it'll say Refractor, it'll say Spectra. Keep those, great. Those are actually really hard to find. For my collection, I think I probably only have like 2 or 3 Spectra cards. And so that's the undervalued stuff. That's the stuff that you guys can jump on now before it goes up. Now I'm gonna move over to overvalued, or what I think is overvalued. And right off the bat, I know people aren't gonna like this, but I think Evolutions is overvalued. So this is a Zapdos, Mewtwo. These are from the Evolution sets. This is from the reprint of base set. The reason that I think these are way too overvalued is, okay, guys, Evolutions was printed up to, I think, 2018, 2019. It was printed for a few years. It was printed on demand, which means they kept printing it. There's even rumors they're going to do a reprint of it again. I know right now, Evolutions, I mean, a booster box is like 800 bucks. That's too much. Like this right here, this Mewtwo right here, it's an Evolution. You can tell by the set symbol right here. But this came in a deck, in a plain deck, and like a $15 deck. You can't tell if this is a deck card or if this came from a pull, from an actual pack of Evolutions. So that's another issue that I have with these types of cards, that you can get a bunch of those $15 psychic decks that they're selling. I remember their clearance at GameStop, and the first card that comes out is is a Hollow Mewtwo, which, I mean, it's an awesome card, don't get me wrong, and I mean, I'm glad that I have it, but this shouldn't be worth more than $2, $3, $4. And I know a lot of people get these graded, and that's great. You get a PSA 9, PSA 10, you can make some quick money. But think about it, guys. You're not the only one that came up with that idea. Like, that's the way that I think about it. I'm not the only person who decided to buy like all those packs at GameStop a few years ago when they were clearing out all the Evolution stuff. I know that there's a lot of people that bought it, a lot of people that held on to it. So maybe a lot of this stuff in the market, and people start to undercut each other when there's a lot of product. People undercut each other. So it's supply and demand. Right now, do I think this is ever going to go back to zero, or is it going to go drop? No. It's always going to have some value to it. But I think right now, I wouldn't be buying these types of cards. I would not be buying Evolutions rares. Just not right now. Okay, another card that I've been seeing that people are like on the hype train about, and don't get me wrong, I own a few of them, but the printing on them is pretty bad. One, which, I mean, in the long run, it might give it some value, but also it's a promo card, and it's a really modern promo card. So Charizard V Full Art. Don't get me wrong, this is a really pretty card. When these came out, these were going for about $20, $25 right out the gate. You guys go to eBay right now, you can get these for $10 to $15. Now, if you can get these for the bottom end, if you can get these for 10, maybe 8, I say go for it. You know, I mean, there's still some value there. It's still a Charizard. It's still, it's going to be a wanted card. But if you guys paid 20, 25 on these, or anyone paid 20, 25 on these, yeah, they overpaid. This came in the Champions Path set. Every single set has these, and the set MSRP was $50. Right now, even at scalp price, I think these sets are going for about 60, 65. So this right now, the time to sell them was when they first came out. Right now, you're gonna have to undercut. You're gonna have to sell these for anywhere from 10 to 15 to move them, because there's just so much abundance of this. People bought that Champions Path. They opened up 8, 9 EBTs, ETBs. I'm sorry, trying to find you know, the shiny Charizard, and trying to find that VMAX full art, the Rainbow Rare. So I mean, it is what it is. This is out there, guys. A lot of people have these. Some people are selling these in, you know, lots of 8, 9, 10. Like I said, if you can get this cheap, yeah, sure, go ahead and pick up a couple. But I would not pay more than, me personally, $10 to $12 is the high end for these cards. Especially the only saving grace to this is these cards were like, they have really bad cuts, so they're not centered very well. So if you have a really nice centered one and you get it graded, there's some money to be made. I'm pretty sure the pop report on this is going to be low for PSA 10s because of the quality control. But the card itself is plentiful. A lot of people have it. A lot of people, I mean, they have it, they don't really want it. So yeah, I think this card is overhyped, and right now it's starting to come down in value, but right off the bat it was overpriced. And one more card, one more series of cards, I guess, that might surprise people, but that's just me, I guess, overthinking things. So, first ed Pokemon commons. Not your rares, not your hollows, that still has a lot of value, but your commons. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that everybody watches, you know, YouTube, everybody watches Gary Vee, everybody watches all these different YouTubers that are talking about first ed is going to be, you know, super high end forever. Honestly, guys, yeah, I mean, the rare stuff, by all means, but this bulk stuff, I don't see, I don't know, I think that the values are too pumped up there. Like, there's no reason why some of these cards should have more than, you know, they'd be worth a few bucks. Yeah, they're great cards, and you know, they look dope, and we've had them, and a lot of us had them since we were kids. But the way that I look at it is, I'm like, me personally, I'm not the only one sitting on bulk. Like, I am not the only one that has a bunch of this stuff that's bulk, and a lot of this stuff wasn't kept in good condition because no one played it or no one cared about it. Especially when we were little, I wasn't playing these games. Now when I was a kid, man, you know, maybe when I got a little bit older, when I was able to understand it. But you know, back in, these came out what, 98, 99. I was 8, 9 years old. I was trading cards, and I was, you know, trying to get hollows and stuff like that, and trading with my friends. But for the most part, playing the game itself, you played with, you know, with the Charizards, with the Blastoise, with like the bigger cool Pokemon. No one really messed around with these base sets, especially we probably didn't even follow rules. But yeah, I mean, I think that this right now, people are hyping this up way too much. Think about how many of these are PSA right now that are gonna come back. I know that PSA was backed up. They were backed up about 6 months, so I think by the summer, a lot of these cards are going to come back, and they're going to come back. I mean, like, this is near mint. Like, these are maybe 7s, 8s. I probably have a couple of 8s. I might even have a 9 or a 10 like in my box, in my bulk box, because yeah, they're nothing special. They're common first ed cards that we probably just toss aside. Again, Gem Mint 10s, they'll always have some value. I don't think people understand how hard it is to get a Gem Mint 10, but base stuff, you know, this stuff like this, common first ed stuff, you know, guys, pick it up if you can. Don't overpay for this stuff. If you're gonna if you want to complete a set and it has to be first ed, by all means, you know, pick it up sooner than later. But I don't know, just you know, be careful buying this kind of stuff. There's a lot of bulk out there. Believe it or not, there is still a lot of bulk out there because people didn't care about these. You know, I know flea markets, you can find these. I know a place where I can still probably find a couple of common stuff, not the high end stuff, but you know, I said it, common. So uncommon and rares, I would still say there's a lot of value there, but this base set common stuff, I'm not too sure. I think there's value there. I just think that it's overpriced right now. And the fourth thing, and the last thing that I think is overvalued, and especially with like starter common Pokemons, is unlimited. So unlimited base, guys. This is bulk. This is common bulk that you probably have a bunch of copies of if you open packs. I wouldn't really pay much for this. If I was collecting for my personal collection, a couple of dollars, like I said. I mean, the cool thing with these old cards is at least a lot of it is hand drawn art. The arts would really captures you, and the fact is that we're collectors, and this is a lot of nostalgia. But don't I've seen people saying, hey, look, I paid $800 for 20 or 30 cards of a near mint, near mint base first ed, and then you go and you're like, it's not first ed, man. There's no stamp on there, and it's an instant regret. It's an instant buyer's regret. So if you are gonna have to go for the WotC stuff or the common stuff, and if you're okay with buying the base stuff, I mean, if you want to buy the unlimited stuff, yeah, go for it. I'm not telling you not to buy it. Just know what you're buying. Know that this right here, this is not first edition. This is just it's an unlimited version of the basic Ekans. So like, well, this is a fossil, right? But nonetheless, know what you're buying, guys. I personally would wait for everything to kind of settle down before you start picking up common stuff, like set fillers. Maybe do trades. A lot of people are really cool, especially locally. You can find somebody to do common trades, a common for a common, first ed for a first ed, stuff like that. And you can make out like that. But buying these, like if you go to eBay right now, people are asking way too much money for these things. Especially, I know a lot of people are CGC slabbing these things and doing quick returns. But I mean, even at that, like this should not be a $50, $60, $70 card in a PSA 7, 8, 9. Like no way. But these are all, again, these are all just my opinions, guys. I could be completely wrong. A few months from now, Evolutions could be worth 5 times what it is worth, and I was completely wrong. But this is just my opinions. This is what I've been seeing. This kind of research that I've been doing on my own, and that's it. Hopefully this video was informative, and see you guys in the next one.